Bro, you know what makes me wet?
That's good intro. Let's talk about that for a second. The music's gonna sound good over this one.
When people use the Japanese names for jujitsu moves.
Oh, it's one of my favorite things in the world.
Don't you just love it?
That's one of my favorite things in the world. Well,
It's so hot.
welcome to the Old Man Grappling Hour. I imagine that's going to be one of the many topics we delve into. The incorrect usage of Japanese nomenclature in jiu-jitsu and how it's become a thing now. That's actually a pretty funny topic.
I'm not gonna say any names, but there was a girl in the Gracie Tampa network who got "us" tattooed on her body,
Oh, that's pretty good.
and she spelled it OSS, and it's the actual traditional Japanese spelling is OSU.
OSU.
So
Osu.
yeah,
Awesome.
just us.
Us.
But I thought it was really funny that she tattooed OSS on her chest, and also it was also funny because it was kind of like the font was kind of like cursive-y, so it actually looked like it said ass.
We're definitely not going to say exactly who it is, but I'm sure that there's like
Yeah.
half of the population.
Dude,
Oh, you mean the girl that's got OSS tattooed on her chest? I wonder who that is.
I don't even remember her name, honestly. It was some girl from like, I don't know, 10 years ago. She probably doesn't even train anymore.
I know that she's got some weird random word
Just
on her
got
chest.
ass tattooed on her chest.
Ass tattooed. Well, at least she didn't do it in Chinese or Japanese calligraphy, and then have
Man,
it some random. I saw a
you'd
meme one
think
time.
that if you're gonna get a tattoo, you're gonna research, especially if it's a Japanese word, you're gonna look it up. You're gonna at least do a dictionary search, at the very, very least for the
I
spelling.
mean, you would think that. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if I necessarily trust some hipster at a tattoo shop to put to be able to decipher Japanese or Chinese calligraphy correctly. I saw a meme one time or a story one time that was actual Chinese people that were looking at tattoos of American girls and saying, well, this is what it's supposed to say, and this is what it really says. And sometimes they're not even close to the same thing. I don't know how true it is, but I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, like this all comes from John Danaher. And I'm completely naive. And I would be lying if I didn't say that I also have tried to start instituting some of the Japanese lingo into my teaching structure simply because so many kids that I don't even know who the fuck they are
Oh,
starting to
dude,
use it regularly
like
all the
I
time
don't
now.
care. I say ashi all the time. I
I
don't
say
give a shit.
Ashi, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
mean, I
care. I just
started
think it's
using.
funny. I just think it's just nerdy enough, for the nerds to really love it. And I think
What
it's just kind of trendy.
me and you. It's so funny how unfamiliar I am with some of the old traditional jujitsu styles of teaching and styles of going to class and all these other things because like me and you never had none of that shit. Like we came from Rob. Like I never took a class from a Brazilian in my entire life. I don't know what bowing is or any of the traditional like judo throws and the things that they show in all these old like Gracie Barra and some of the old jiu-jitsu guy classes. And I guess they say that we're not doing real jiu-jitsu because of it, but like I never did any of that shit. And I'm sure you never did either. And a lot of that old school Japanese lingo comes from that old Brazilian traditional style because it was so directly connected to judo back in the early days that was kind of the way you talked about things. You talked about it as a senkaku, or whatever. These fucking, I don't even know half the shit they say when they talk. I know ashi, senkaku. There's crazy words for arm bars and trips and osu. I don't know what any of that shit is. Like I couldn't tell you. Like I try to implement it because I think it makes it easier and it's part of what the lingo is now. But John Danaher is really the one that brought it all back.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't tell you the difference between a Nami and a Geishi and a
Yeah.
Uraguchi. I just don't know.
Sumigaishi, I kind of know that's that elevator sweep, kind
A
of.
Brata
I think
Kamuchiki,
that's what it is.
Lakamanya.
But yeah, but like that all came. That's all made a comeback because John Danaher uses all of the old traditional Japanese words, and now Gordon uses it in all of his BJJ Fanatics videos and all of his clips. And now blue belts that watch all the clips come in and start using Japanese terminology in front of me. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I think you mean this armbar that I've been doing for fucking 25 years. And all of a sudden you want to call it some fucking judo term. So I guess I'll show you this. I don't know what the fuck you call it, but it sounds good to me.
Yeah.
My guys all laugh at me when I try to use the Japanese words and have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, you can avoid that pretty easily just by not using them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's the same. Like, I feel like,
I mean, I'm just so
we
used to
should
calling
know.
ashigarami ashi and
Yeah,
outside ashi inside. This makes sense to me because it's like one word with different positions that you understand. Inside
right.
ashi, cross ashi. Like I get it. Like I can
Yeah,
put that together for myself.
and I kind of like Senkaku means triangle, so I kind of am starting to figure out what the difference between the closed Senkaku, and I'll use
It
those
sounds like
words.
something you would order at a Japanese
Sounds
restaurant.
like something like it comes with fried wontons or some shit.
Yeah,
You dip it in soy sauce.
it sounds like the drink. What do they drink over there? What's it called?
Sake.
Sake,
Yeah, sake
senkaku.
bombs. Sake bombs. Sikakus.
All
Sake
right, so
bombs. You
that's
never done sake bombs? I love sake
oh yeah, I
bombs.
like sake.
It's fucking good shit, man.
I
Sake
just
bombs
forgot what
get
it
you
was
there.
called.
Yeah. Senkaku. We used to drink sake. I used to go to this traditional Japanese restaurant. I remember when I was out when I used to live in like South Tampa, SOG. There was this really cool traditional Japanese restaurant, and they actually served you the sake in a wooden box. And if you were a regular enough customer there, you could use the wood, like you could have your own wooden box saved behind the counter. And when you came in, they'd have your box waiting for you there. And you, oh, hold on, oh, Sugi-san, oh, Kevin-san, here's your Japanese box. We're totally getting canceled this episode. I mean, I guess you can. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, was that racist? I don't know. It's kind of what the Japanese guy sounds like. I mean, I didn't say Senkaku or some bullshit like that. I didn't
No,
butcher
I
his
thought it was perfectly
language.
reasonable.
Perfectly reasonable. Everybody's so offended
Oh,
these days. So what else
it's
is
true,
going on,
man.
Sonny? How is your life going? Anything fun to report on this week? Anything
I
interesting
just
happened?
shot competitively on Sunday.
I think I saw that. I saw a little clip of that. How'd it go? First
Well,
competition.
I just got the results back. Apparently, I got first in my division,
Nice.
but there was only three people in my
Hey,
division.
whatever, dude. No one cares if you know. No one cares about that extra piece as long as they know you're on top of the podium. You know how many times I've made it to the top of a podium with like one other guy in my division? Nobody gives a shit
But
because
out of the
all he
whole
sees
comp,
me on
like
top.
everybody, there was like 38 people there, and I think I got like 33 out of 38 or something.
Well,
But
and third in your division, so first in your division. So that's all that
at first in
matters.
my division,
There
yeah,
was
that's all
two
that
other guys
matters.
below you, so you're still a winner. It's all about perception. It's all about
No, it was
how you
fun. It
paint
was a
that
good
picture.
time. It's not as stressful as doing like yeah, it's not as nerve-wracking or whatever as doing a jiu-jitsu tournament, you know. I don't know why I feel like nervous about one and not nervous about the other. Um,
Well, because
but
it's very rarely that you're going to get your ass kicked physically in a shooting competition. You don't have to worry about being embarrassed in front of your fucking your wife and your friends and family and all your
oh, there's
students.
plenty of ways, believe me, there's plenty of ways to get embarrassed. In fact, there was a guy that got DQ'd because he had a negligent discharge.
Ooh, negligent discharge.
He-
That sounds kind of hot. Now I'm getting
but
wet.
um, but yeah, he had one of those, and he had to go home. So yeah, there's definitely ways you can get embarrassed at these things and or just sucking really bad. But anyway, so yeah, I'm not sure why I'm nervous at jujitsu tournaments and not nervous at shooting tournaments. I think part of the reason is that you don't even really know who you're competing against when you're at one of these. it's like you're just shooting and there are other people there and they might be in your division, they might not be in your division. You don't even know. But everybody shoots, everybody does as best they can, and then like the results are given to you later. So you don't even like you leave the tournament, you don't know how you did.
Man, I never. Oh, that's cool. That's a weird thing. Like you don't even know. That's actually just kind of weird. Like you have the whole competition and you don't know if you won until like 3-4 days later. That's just an odd thing because they
Yeah,
have to
but that
compile.
I think that's just the way they do it at the local level because the
Right,
organization I'm part of is like a national one. So
right, right,
I think that's just how they do it at the local level. They have to upload all their their scores and stuff like that. It could just be that I don't know how to find it, you know, because I think I might have been looking at it the wrong way, where you have to like click into it to see the results. I thought the results would just pop up. So the results could have been posted a couple days ago for all I know. I couldn't tell you.
do you accumulate points like on like like a national level? Do you accumulate
So
so many
you have to
points
do
per
you have to do four of these competitions before you can become before you are given a ranking. So in other words, like you know how like when you do a jujitsu tournament, maybe it's your first one, you'll go into say a beginner division, right?
right,
Well, you do these shooting tournaments and then they assign the division to you based on how well you performed. So your division is a product of your performance. You know what I mean?
right,
So, and then what you're trying to do is you're trying to go up the ladder, right? There's like master and grandmaster and all that crap.
right?
I don't really know the first thing about it, to
But
be
it's
honest
based
with you.
upon how well you do. And then
Yeah,
if you get X amount of points or X amount of awards or win X amount of events, they did move you up in rank to
right,
like the next. Oh, you went from like novice to beginner and
right.
then
It's
beginner to
completely
fucking
it's completely merit based. It's
right,
not like jujitsu where you have to put in your time. Like if all of a sudden I just like, you know, got one of those matrix things and stuck into the back of my head and somebody turned me into like, you know, the perfect shooter and I went to the next one and just fucking killed it. Like I might, you know, when they rank me, it would just rank me at whatever, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't, so it has nothing to do with like how long you've been shooting or anything like that. Although I'm sure there's a correlation to be made, but it's just not how they score it, you know?
yeah. You is it age brackets, age divisions, and things like that too? Sonny Parlin, smoking
Yes,
pot
there
again.
is. There is there's like a senior citizens, I think. Uh there's like a seniors thing. It's like masters, but you know, like but being 50 as I am, and I know I look, you know, 29, but being 50, I don't even qualify to go into that.
52. I'm going to be 50 in three
I
years.
think I could be wrong, bro. I mean, I don't want to.
I'm 47. I'm going to be
I'm talking a
47.
little bit out my ass. I'm just trying to
It's
go
all
by
right.
what I
It's all right.
remember seeing on the
We got an hour to
when
kill.
you,
What the fuck's the
yeah.
difference? The folks at home want to hear your ass. I 46. I'm gonna be 47 at the end of January. It's getting there. I think about that a lot, and like I still feel okay. Like I still feel pretty good. It's just scary. Like 47. I'm getting close to being dead. Like
Nah,
I'm turning that
listen,
corner.
I think the way you feel is directly determined by how much energy you put into how you want to feel. You know, like I know that sounds weird, but it's like, okay, so how can Sonny feel good? Sonny can feel good by eating right. That's number one, you know. Um, Sonny can feel good by working out or, you know, training jujitsu and drinking enough water and getting enough sleep. If I'm doing those things and I'm staying active, I'm feeling great. But a lot of times I'm very slothy. I lay around, you know, and I
I
don't drink enough water. I don't drink enough water and I don't, you know, eat enough proteins and I eat the wrong shit and
I
yeah.
just started working with a nutritionist. By the way, I'm super excited about it. I got my program sent to me last week, but I went to New York for the weekend. So I freaking just said fuck it and partied all weekend, which we'll talk about soon. New York was an awesome trip. And
Who's this
then
nutritionist you speak of?
it's a very good question. His name is Connor. I can't say his last name. It's a weird last name, Connor Kovic or some shit like that. Sorry, Connor. I apologize. But the name of his company is Classic Coaching. Classic with a Klassic. I'm sure that Jeff Rod will put a nice little logo up for you, Connor. But I'm super excited. I'm excited to see how I feel. I mean, I eat relatively healthy already, but this is a complete revamp on my entire nutritional philosophy. When I was amazed at like how much I get to eat, like I'm eating a lot. One thing he told me, the first thing he told me when I had my first initial consultation with him, when we were actually kind of putting the plan together, was that first of all, I am incredibly active for someone my age, way more active than like 99 percentile of people in my age. And I didn't even think I was. I didn't think I was doing that much. He was like, no, dude, like you're doing all kind of shit. Just because, I'm training all the time. And then the second thing he told me was that you don't eat anywhere near enough that you should. You're not consuming anywhere enough calories that you should be consuming. And he said that's a big part of big mistake most people make when they're training and getting ready for any kind of competition or just trying to live a better life. So he gave me all these supplements to start taking. He put me on a 6-week program, revamped all my diet. I got all my macronutrients and all that stuff. I got to get a food scale. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to give it a shot. He said it's going to be amazing how much better I feel once I do this for about a month or so. So we'll see how that goes. You ever work with a nutritionist? You ever do anything like that? I know you had problems with your pancreatitis.
Yeah, no, I never worked with a nutritionist. Because I kind of know what I have to do. It's just a matter of doing it.
Yeah, that's the
It's a
thing.
matter of following through and doing the right thing. It's really hard to do. I'm just sorry, bro. I don't mean to seem distracted, but I'm actually trying to look up pictures of Clay Guida with a beard to see to see
Did he?
if there's
He
still
never
a
had a beard.
resemblance.
He never had a beard.
Yeah, but there's plenty of pictures of him with a
You're
beard
just gonna
now.
have AI make Clay Guida a beard, you piece of shit. Thank you so much for caring about anything I have to say. I'm wondering what the fuck you're doing over there.
But yeah,
I never tell you. I mean, when I shaved my beard, did you remember me when I had long hair? Did we
yeah,
know each other
dude,
when
of
I had long
course.
hair?
Remember when you the first time I met you was the I think two locations before where South is now.
Yeah, the one in the little shopping center type thing.
It
It
was
was next
like
to us.
it was
It was
like
next
at
to an
the
Italian restaurant.
it looked like it was at the 5 Points or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right.
You
So
came
it
to a
was
Hoist Gracie seminar, right?
right, I think so. Yeah. And that's when Matt it was funny, Rob was there. My very first interaction with Matt Arroyo was because like I met Rob and became friends with him, and then Rob became my jujitsu instructor after we became friends. So like I didn't meet Rob under the pretense of like him being in class and stuff like that. Like we were talking on the phone all the time and like just saying whatever. Like we just talk to each other, normal. And so we were at the gym there, and Rob was on the floor like showing a move to somebody, and I walk over and go, "Hey, Rob, I got a question for you," and blah blah blah. And I forget what it was, but as I was walking away, Matt comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, Sonny, do me a favor. When you're at the gym, it's Master Rob." And
Oh, that's when he was totally into that whole Master Matt
I
thing.
was like, "Man, I
he
don't know about
Matt
that."
started that freaking he started doing that Lloyd Irvin stuff
Yeah,
right before Lloyd Irvin became a rapist and everyone freaking he's back again. Everybody loves Lloyd again. He's back. He's not everybody loves him, but he's figuring out a way to peek his head back into things again. One of his kids just
yeah,
won the trials not too long ago. But that was back when he was starting to implement all that Lloyd Irvin stuff. That's when we started calling him Master Matt. I really think that if Matt had to do it again, he would not go down the Master Matt route. I think now he's just so in it that he has to stick with it. I call him Master Matt. I don't care. But I think Rob was like, don't call me Master Rob. I don't care what
Well,
Roy says.
that's the
Don't call me
funny
Master
part is that
Rob.
I had Rob telling me, "Don't ever call me master or professor.
But
I'll kill
Matt's
you."
like,
And then Matt's like, "Sonny, you got to call him
you gotta call him
master." And
Master
I'm
Rob.
like, it's like when those little kids, when the teenager or the child gets like conflicting things from the
Like
parents.
mom says one thing, dad says something else. I don't know
Right.
what to do.
I don't know what to do exactly. So I was like, yeah, Rob.
Well, that was back. I mean, that was back when I had my long hair. And when I have my long hair and I'm clean shaven, I look exactly like Clay Guida. There's actually
I
a
know it's
picture.
uncanny.
It's
It's
uncanny.
uncanny.
There's a picture on the wall of Matt, like on, like a little clipboard kind of like, collage thing at his gym. That's actually a picture of him and his wife, Natalia, when Matt fought in the UFC with Clay Guida. When I had my long hair and my beard, there are people at that gym that still to this day think that that's a picture of me and Matt and Natalia, not Clay Guida. Like it's insane. Then there was another time we were at that same gym. We were having it was in the middle of the day, and Jeff Bailey was teaching a private lesson on one half of the mat, and we were having MMA sparring in the cage, or I was doing a private lesson holding mitts or some shit for some guy in the cage right next to it. And about halfway through my session, this little kid that Jeff Bailey was doing a private lesson with comes up to me and he's like, "Hey man, can I take a picture with you?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure, dude. Why not, bro? Let's take a fucking picture." You know me. I'm fucking him. I'm like, "Yeah, no big deal. Let's take a picture." And I put my arm around him. I take a picture, and he looks at me and he goes, "Man, it doesn't look like you can make 155 pounds." And I'm like, "What in the fuck is this kid talking about?" And then I look over at Jeff Bailey laughing, like, "You little motherfucker. You told this kid I was fucking Clay Guida, didn't you?" And he's like laughing his ass off. Anyway, that's how much I look like Clay Guida. You could fool kids to take pictures with me.
I would like to take a moment, and I know that
Sure.
Kevin will join in.
Sure.
Kevin will join in on this as soon as he figures out what I'm about to do. But I just want to say that if there's anybody that's watching this podcast, anyone at all, that has donated to,
And there's not, by the way. So
yeah, the Josh Couture fund, just want to say thank you because, wow, they set a goal for $8,000 and as of today, it's at $31,700.
yeah,
That's
I still
great.
have a big I still have a dump that I'm gonna put in from my guys at the gym. We're gonna put it all together as one Gracie Trinity donation. But yeah, they have done well. God, it's still freaking it's so heartbreaking. I keep
But yeah,
seeing.
I mean, at least it's we at least the community came together and did what they could to make it just a little bit easier on his family.
Yeah, that's financial struggles after a death are difficult, and that's always a big part of it. But thank you again from me too, from everyone that's contributed to anything that has to do with the Josh Couture Memorial Fund. It's greatly appreciated. Sometimes we provide a service. This show does. We try to give back to the community
Yeah,
whenever
it's all because of
possible.
us.
It's all because of us. I don't want to say you're welcome because that's not funny, but but I don't know, man. I was in New York this weekend. New York was fun.
Yeah.
New York. You ever been to New York? I'm sure. Yeah. When's the last time you were in New York?
Oh, geez. I went with, I think the last time I was in New York City, I was with Robbie and I forget what the hell we were doing there. I think,
Did you go for a seminar, maybe?
man, I can't remember why we were in New York. I'm sure it had something to do with jujitsu, but while we were in New York City, we went toward the, what do you call it? The 9/11 memorial.
We went there too. We didn't go to the
Man,
museum, but we went to the memorials.
I saw a lot of stuff that I expected to see, but then they had these sectioned off like photo displays where you had to kind of not really sign a waiver, but had to read a disclaimer that's like you're about to see some disturbing things here.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then you go behind the panel and there it is, and it's like, oh man, like I had no idea. Like
I know people that lived in the city during 9/11, people that were in that area during 9/11 when all that shit went down. And I don't think any memorial will ever give you the scope of what actually happened. And it's kind of odd to go in there now and you see the memorials and you see the museums. It's actually pretty nice. The last time I went there, they hadn't finished everything. There's actually like a little area there now that's like a cool little like shopping mall, and it's this big like new modern art kind of building, and they're still building other stuff around. But it's actually the whole memorial is done. The two memorials with the two buildings where they have the big drop off fountains are done. So you can go see that. And you get when you walk through there, there's a really odd feeling of, oh, this is a beautiful, tranquil kind of, garden or park or whatever you want to call it. But this is where the Twin Towers were, and this is where people were, jumping off of buildings and falling to the ground, and the rubble and the debris and planes. I can't even imagine because
they've
it's
got
right in the
entire
middle of New
fire
York.
trucks in there. They've got entire fire trucks that are like crumbled that were destroyed under the
The
buildings and
rubble.
stuff. And it's just crazy that they preserved all of that and
Yeah,
got
we
it in
should.
there. And
My girl didn't want to go to the damn museum, and I was pissed. I wanted to go to the museum. We should have. We should have. We just walked around a little bit. We ended up walking over to Chinatown, or taking the train to Chinatown and walking and driving, walking over the Brooklyn Bridge, coming back. It was a good day. She was being a pain
when
in
were
the
you in New
ass.
York?
This weekend, last weekend,
Oh, really?
I went
Was it
up.
cold?
Not bitterly cold, but definitely getting there. It got down to low 40s, maybe high 30s.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was a little chilly, with wind, the wind blowing through and stuff. But during the day wasn't too bad. It's that time of year in New York where it's super sunny. Like the temperatures drop, but it's really, really sunny out. You need a coat, but
Yeah.
it's really like a nice day to go out and do things. Like when we walked across the bridge to Brooklyn, it was a really nice walk. It was beautiful out. We got to see the Hudson River and stuff. And then we walked around Chinatown. It was really nice. It rained a little bit on Saturday during the day, but Sunday was beautiful. We went up. We wanted to go to the fights. We went up. First of all, it was her birthday, so we went up to. She's never been to New York before, so I took her to New York for the weekend. And we were going to go to the UFC fight. I went up there specifically to go watch Matt Favola fight, and then yeah, the tickets were too fucking expensive, man. Like it was the John Jones fight in Madison Square Garden. So the original tickets we talked about it last week. The original tickets went. Some dude bought 2 ringside tickets for like fucking 150 grand each, but the tickets were super expensive. And I was kind of hoping they would go down a little bit over the course of the week leading up to the fight, just because John Jones wasn't on the fight anymore. And they did go down a little bit fight day, but they were still like any ticket worth it was like $500 each, and I had to buy 2 of them, so I wasn't going to spend $1,000. I love you, Matt Favola, but I ain't spending fucking grand to go watch a fucking fight. So we just end up
I got
hanging
a,
out. City.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir. Ask me a question.
Your girl's name.
I don't know. Fucking Casey is her name.
Casey.
Casey.
I've never met Casey, have I?
I don't think you have. If you've seen her before,
Have I?
I
Because you've
put
been dating her for a while, but I
like
don't think I've ever
six fucking years, Sonny.
6 years.
Not
Listen,
not many
listen.
people have met her.
I gotta say, I understand what the ladies mean when they say it's time to put a ring on it.
I don't think she wants a ring. That's where we're at now. I
Oh,
don't want to draw out my
no,
dirty
no, draw it
laundry
out.
on a
The
public fucking
customers want to know.
platform. My mother will be happy to hear about this. She asked me, but she's only met my mom like once in 6 years. Like it's the oddest relationship I've ever been in my life. It's just an odd thing. Like we go out, I pick her up, we come hang out at the house, and that's it. We kind of kick it for the weekend, and that's it. We've been doing it for 6 years. Like we go on trips and do some things, but we don't have any kind of like it hasn't grown past that. And it's been convenient and cool for a little while, but I just don't see it going anywhere else, and it's getting sad. And if it doesn't go somewhere here pretty soon, and people that know me know that I've been saying this for the last fucking 4 years. But I mean, she's younger than I am. She's way younger than I am.
So,
So it
question
makes it
for you:
kind of difficult.
when you went to New York, you got back, you flew into where?
We flew we flew into Tampa. We flew out of
Oh,
LaGuardia.
you flew back into Tampa though.
Yeah, we flew out of LaGuardia. Yeah,
All right. So
LaGuardia to
then
Tampa.
what? You guys took one car and you went from Tampa.
No, I
You
just
brought.
came back to the house. Then I drove
Oh,
her back home. She lives in Plant City.
oh
So
yeah. So
I drove her
that's what
back
I'm
home
wondering.
on
If you
Monday.
like when you did you get to the airport and drive her home?
Yeah, she didn't have a car. I got pick her. I go pick her up in fucking Plant City every weekend.
All right. So then from her house, you had drove back home.
Not until the next day. We flew in Sunday night. We got back. Our flight. Oh, this is a funny story. I'll tell you a funny story about the flight. Our flight got delayed. Our flight was supposed to come in at like 9. It got delayed. We didn't get back until almost 12:30. So we got back to the house. I came home. We went to sleep, and then the next day I woke up and I drove her back home about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I went to my
Okay.
gym after that.
Gotcha.
But anyway,
Gotcha.
the flight back. This is pretty funny. This is actually a pretty funny fucking story. So we were on the flight back from LaGuardia to Tampa. And like I said, we were actually supposed to leave. The flight was supposed to take off at 6:45, which would have put us back in Tampa right about 10 o'clock, maybe a little bit earlier than 10, 9:30 ish, 9:45. So as we were about to taxi off of the runway, about 2 rows behind me, 3 rows behind me, I hear some dude go like a fucking water buffalo. And I'm like, what in the fuck? And I'm like, I don't care. None of my goddamn business. I just want to go the fuck home. And then you hear the captain say, is there a doctor on board? We have a
Oh
medical
God.
emergency. And I'm like, what in the fuck? So I turned around and it's immediately obvious what's going on. Like, there's this old gay guy who's totally on a trip with like his little fucking boy toy sugar boy or whatever it is. So the boy toy gets up to go talk to the stewardess or hits the button so the stewardess comes over. The old guy had too much to drink and was like fishing out and falling asleep. He pissed himself. And I think he might have shit himself too. It
Ah.
was the fucking Sonny, when I tell you, and then we're stuck on the damn runway for another 2.5 hours. While
Ah.
fucking like like, and I can overhear it. Like it's 2 rows back. It's 2 rows back. And like we went from like, sweet, we're gonna go home at like 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go sit on the couch and relax after a long day in New York City. I fucking hear it in the back. The doctor talking to this guy. The doctor's even pissed off now. The doctor is like, okay, so tell me what's going on. Tell me how you feel. You can smell it. You can smell piss and shit. It was just fucking like, and it's even funnier. There's a funnier part of this too, because when I was coming back, when I was like, my mom likes garlic bagels, right? So I had a bag full of garlic bagels because she wants her fucking garlic bagels. And they stink like shit. Like they're fucking the garlic is so strong. So we're sitting in the plane the whole time. I'm like, fuck. Like I just want to get off this plane. The garlic people are looking at me and shit. Well, we got saved because the drunk gay guy shit himself. So now nobody smells the garlic bagels
Oh
anymore. All they
man.
smell. But dude, so you hear the doctor talking to this guy and asking a question, and it's clearly obvious that there's not a medical emergency anymore. This guy is just completely fucking drunk off his ass, been drinking for 3 days, and got hammered and fell asleep and shit himself. So they don't care. Then we would go back to the taxi. They're like, we're not going to take another chance with this guy. You're getting off the fucking plane. We're going to have you examined by a medical person. And you could just see this poor little gay boy that's like his little boy toy that thought he got a free, got some rich dude to take him to New York to hang out before he just completely fucking mortified. So long story short, like it took 3 hours. They had to actually, I guess because it was a biohazard, they had to actually go in and remove the
I'd
seat.
say.
They
I
had to
would say.
they had to change the fucking seat. Like they had to go undo the seat, take that one out, take it off the plane, bring in a new seat. And then the fucking captain comes out there and goes, "Oh, God, super sorry for the delay. Unfortunately, we burned gas and now we got to refuel." And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, like, we're never going to leave. They're going to come back on and say, "Well, we missed our window. We're going to have to reschedule this flight, blah, 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 blah." Luckily, we ended up flying out at like 9:45 is when we left. We got to Tampa at like 12:30. I didn't get home till like 1 in the fucking morning. But anyway, that was it. Some fucking old gay dude shit himself behind me.
Wow.
And I got to sneak through with my garlic bagels
Bro, I've been lucky.
undetected.
I've been lucky to never be on a plane that, like where like there's vomit or shit or something like that. I just nope, can't take it. Can't take it.
They did a really good job of killing whatever they did. Like they did the flight back home, they got rid of that smell fast. Like it was super bad for about 15, 20 minutes, and there was a bunch of pissed off people. And I guess this isn't something that happens. I guess this happens quite a bit because whatever they did, they got rid of the shit smell real fucking fast.
Man.
They were apologizing to everybody. We got up in the air and we were back home again. But it was just a funny little, just the look. I couldn't help. I didn't care about the drunk guy. Fuck that guy. I couldn't help but look at the poor little guy that was traveling with him because
I feel like you feel really bad for this child gay boy or whatever you want to call him. I feel like you want to help him. Like you want you have a savior complex for
I've
gay
been in that. I do have a savior complex.
boy
I can't help
toys.
myself. I've been in that world. I've worked at the gay bars for so long, and I 100% have seen that, not that severe, but seen some variation of that for so long. Just some old, brutally drunk, fucking like
How many years did you work
dude.
how many years did you work at the gay bar?
Total?
Yeah.
I worked there for probably about 2 years, maybe close to 3. And then
Wow.
I still pick up every once in a while to bar down an e-bar. I'm actually bartending this weekend.
Really?
But yeah, I'm gonna bar. I'll make a shit ton of money for some EDM event. Not at a gay bar, but I'm gonna be an e-bar. But I
So
worked
let
like
me
gay
ask you
pride
this
parade.
then. As someone who's worked in a gay bar, how different is like a blowjob from a guy?
Well, it's all a matter how drunk I am. $20 is $20. Yeah, the little beard stubble on your balls is a little fucking weird. So, Jesus Christ. I hope my kids aren't watching this.
This is the see, you gotta open yourself up, Kevin.
I mean, $20 is $20, honey Parlin. You got to make rent.
Oh man.
I was just telling. I worked the day shift on Wednesdays from like 11 a.m. to about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night on Wednesdays.
I'm sorry.
And I'm telling you, like I have worked in some shithole bars in my life. This place, the Hub, I worked at this last Hub. And there's a part of you that kind of feels bad, like serving people that are just degenerate alcoholics. But I would work I'd be there. We opened at 11, and there would be people waiting at the door at 11 o'clock to come in and have like 2-for-1 vodka cranberries or whiskey diet cokes, shit whiskey diet cokes, and drink 7 or 8 of them and watch The Price is Right. And like they would bring me like coffee and fucking cupcakes and fucking muffins and shit and be like, "Oh, I brought you a muffin, Kevin. Thank you so much. You're the best." And you just kind of feel like "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? You fucking miserable old fucking drunk. Thank you so much for the muffin." And then 5 hours later, when they had their 12th fucking drink and you want to murder them, like they come back next Wednesday like nothing happened with another muffin. That was my life for
I
a
could
while.
just imagine your customer is like, I'm gonna convert him.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll tell you that most of them are cool. Most of them wouldn't be that bad. Most of obviously, if I fucking was like, yeah, you know what, let's go do this thing, they'd jump on it in a heartbeat. But most of them kind of got the deal. Like it wasn't ever going to happen. We would have fun little like flirty things just because that's what you do. And you're your fucking customers. You have to fucking talk to them and shit. But like, most of them are cool. But some of them weren't. Some of them would push it too far. Like, I say this all the time, bartending at a gay bar has made me recognize what it's like being a female, like how difficult and frustrating it is being a female, because men are fucking stupid. Like they have no clue. When you tell a man, hey, look, I'm being nice to you because like I have to, it's my job, but like we're never gonna be anything more than just customer fucking patron relationship. Some men are just relentless and don't stop. And it got to a point where it was like, dude, like I just can't deal this anymore. I'm gonna murder somebody. So women, I give you props for dealing with the male species as much as you do. We are ignorant idiots to take any sign of affection as well, this person obviously wants to fuck me. So Jesus, this is a bad one today.
I disagree because I think that every waitress that's ever flirted with me in a bar has always been because I'm hot, not because because they want a tip.
I
I've
mean,
always been under the assumption that it is me. I've dazzled this woman, and she has fallen into my spell, and I shall break another heart
I,
in that day.
I mean, I get lost in your dreamy eyes all the time, Sonny. So I can see how
It
that's the
absolutely has
case.
nothing to do with the fact that they are getting tips from me.
I can see that. You're a fun guy, man. You're a loving guy. You got charm, panache. I'm sure all the strippers want to bang you too. They're really all
Absolutely,
about it.
man.
Absolutely, absolutely. They're not high on ecstasy and methamphetamine and alcohol, looking for your tip money. Sorry, strippers. I guess you guys are people too.
I think we should move this show over to OnlyFans.
I think we should too. We just bring back the shirtless episodes. That's it. Quick little
The
adjustment. We're right back to the
shirtless
top.
episodes. Forget that. We'll have pictures of our feet while we talk.
We won't even talk. We'll just put up feet pics. 45 minutes of feet pics. Like I'm telling you, if this jujitsu gym doesn't work out, I'm just gonna sell feet pics. I mean, I look at some of the shit these people do on fan. I mean, not that I know on fans
Oh
only.
man, my wife found one where the woman puts on some socks and wears them for the day, and then she takes them off
Sells them.
and she sells them. So she wears them once and then she sells them to somebody. Did she do anything else to them? Did she like hit them with some perfume or something? That's it. And dudes do all kinds of crazy shit with these socks, man. What were some of the things they did with them?
Oh,
Huh? Some people suck on them. That's crazy.
I in Japan, you can actually buy used panties in a vending machine. I've heard. Now we're going down a
Come
rabbit hole.
on.
I Japan's a weird world, man.
That's a filthy, filthy,
Japan,
filthy. I wish I had one of those vending machines.
John, uh, Sonny sounds like he wants to take a trip to wants to take a trip to Japan now.
Yeah, hop off the plane. Where are the panty vending machines? No, the
uh,
used panties.
the used panty vending machines. That's awesome. Well, I mean, I guess we're getting close. I don't know, Sonny, you got anything else you want to talk about? Any other updates? Any other jujitsu oriented questions? I don't even think we call this a jujitsu podcast anymore. We just started talking about old Japanese panties.
Bro,
How's
it's all
Kara doing?
she's good.
Yeah,
She got a job, so
tell her I said hello.
Kevin says hello. Oh, her hair just came down.
Wow.
So just hearing your name just came down. What was I gonna say? Damn it. I thought of something and then it went away because you distracted me.
I'm sorry. Well,
Um,
jujitsu is a wonderful thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what it was. The belt ceremony. We have our belt ceremony coming up. And man, I got a couple of guys that I'm considering for purple, and I got a couple of guys that I'm considering for brown. And man, it's just I need to see more. Like I need to, you want to be sure about these things.
I have, I just had this conversation with my GM slash assistant coach, Jake, the other day about we have our belt ceremony coming up soon. And it was weird. When I first opened up, it was just weird. You get super excited about giving belts out. You're gonna get a belt, this gets a belt, everybody gets a belt. And now I really have to start dialing it back. Like I really have to start sticking to my guns a little bit and making sure people truly deserve their belts and not just handing them out like Oprah Winfrey giving out free cars. Like you get a car, you get a car, and you get a purple belt, you get a purple
Although it
belt.
would be great to get a free car.
It would be great to get a free
But
car.
but no, I mean, these guys are tough, and one of them is 60. One of the guys I'm looking at for brown belt is 60.
How long has he been training for?
I I I don't know the total number of years, but I know he's been a purple for 2 years.
Purple for
Um,
2 years.
yeah. So I'm not sure of his total training
I
time,
would say for a brown belt,
but he's
because
60.
yeah, 60s makes it a little bit different still, though. It's still you got to put the time in. I I was told by Matt, and I'm going by what I see on the IBJJF poster, just because that's kind of a magic template that's kind of generally considered by most. If you go by what I consider to be the basis for belts, not just skill, which is a huge part of it, but also dedication and time served and all the other things that require and to get to those belts. I think it's a year for a blue belt, 3 years total for a purple belt. So it would have to be 5 to 6 years for a brown belt, I think at least. At least. And that's if you are training 2-3 times a week every day, busting your
Yeah.
ass every single day. Like brown belt's different. Purple belt, brown belt in particular, like it's more than just time served. Like you have got to be proficient at
Oh
so
yeah, for
many
sure.
things to be able to get a brown belt. Jiu-jitsu is great, man. I always get a kick out of jiu-jitsu simply because there's not really any kind of fundamental consideration that all jiu-jitsu coaches think of when they think of, okay, this person's a blue belt, this person's a purple belt, this person's a brown belt. They need to know this, and this, and they need to have this curriculum or this kata or this knowledge known. So it's very vague what constitutes a brown belt. However, I can roll with pretty much anyone and come pretty damn close to knowing what their belt rank is or where they are in the belt ranking system after
Well, you
about a five
feel
ten minute.
well, what you just said is pretty revealing because what you just said is that you can roll with someone and then in your head you can place them
Right.
based on where you think they should be placed. But here's the thing though, where you think they should be placed, let's say it's purple belt, right? Let's just say you roll with somebody and you're like, I think this guy's a purple belt. Well, your purple belt is someone else's blue belt and is someone else's brown belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I can agree with that, but I generally think that there are some people that promote a little bit quicker, some people that promote a little bit slower. There are some gyms that are just frankly better than other
right.
gyms. You're going to get better instruction. You're going to be a better jiu-jitsu practitioner. But I still feel like and when I roll with someone, I'm pretty close to knowing where they are. Then when I find out a little more history of where they come from and what how they've trained and when they trained and who they trained under, I could start to see, okay, cool, that person might perceive them to be closer to a brown belt than I would, or a little bit lower down the road than I do. But
Right.
I'm getting much better at holding people back and not being rushed to promote. I think that was something I did early in in my jiu-jitsu life as a gym owner. And here we are. Well, we're getting up in an hour. You want to give a little shout out to the sponsors, get out of here?
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, obviously we've got Troy Regano from No Judges Needed. Troy, you're the man. Thank you so much. The sponsors probably don't want to be a part of this show today.
No, I think we had some very funny moments,
I
but
think we had some good ones.
you know what we have to do? We have to count on Jeff Rod to go in and make us look good by deleting the dumb shit we say, or take out the uhs and the, well, that's probably too much, but take out the pauses and the dead air and shit like that.
No Judges Needed. Troy Regano, we love you. Thank you so much. I'm sure that we have an OMGH promo code with No Judges Needed if you want to get a little discount on what you buy. Next, we have Laheel Biogenics. Laheel's awesome. I get my peptides from him. I do CJC 1295, BPC 157, and I was doing HCG, but I think I'm going to get off the HCG. I don't really need it. I got my test results back, and my test levels didn't really go up much from the last time on the HCG, but I do love the CJC 1295 with the BPC 157. Really great for recovery.
My favorite thing is the BP 9234.
What was the other one from the? What was the?
I don't remember what
skin cream. Whatever.
Yeah.
Bipoxis, whatever the hell it was. Lotrimin Ultra, bitafinamine. But they also do stem cells at the Laheel. So give them a shout out. Check them out. I'm sure you could mention the show or Gracie Trinity or Gracie Bradenton to get you a discount on what they offer. Very good friend of the show. Rewire Personal Fitness, my personal trainer, physical fitness guy. I just worked with him today. He is a doctor of physical therapy as well as a personal trainer, and he's amazing. Charlie Keenan, thank you so much for all you do. And we've got more. If you guys are interested in throwing us a little bit of money, be on the show. We are pumping some effort into this, some marketing money into this. We've got a whole team of people behind the scenes writing content, pumping stuff out for the site. Hopefully we'll get you some notoriety and sell you some shit. If you're interested, hit us up. Let us know. Hit us up in the DMs or talk to us personally.
Listen, we're very, very close to hitting 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So please, guys, like, subscribe, hit the button, and make it go ding dong. And our 1,000th customer, our 1,000th subscriber will get a free private lesson from both me and Kevin.
Oh, we did that before. Remember we did that for you? I think we still owe somebody a private lesson. You get a free private lesson from Sonny to Kevin that you will never get cash shit on. We're just gonna, it's just the honor of being acknowledged on the show as the person that won the free private lesson is what you should.
No, for real though. Like, if you guys like, we'll blow you up, man. We'll shout you out to our 1,000,000 subscribers. If you are the 1,000th, you'll get the shout out. So
get in on the ground floor.
And we have
up and coming broadcast.
We have a very high tech way of determining who actually it becomes the 1,000,000th subscriber. So when we see that million number come in, I think we're at like 984,762, something like that right now.
Yep.
So yeah, pretty close.
972,000 are my mom just hitting it every day because she can't figure out how to find it. So she just keeps pushing the button and pushing the button. All right, man. Sonny, I love you so much. Folks at home, you guys are great. Hit us up for some sponsors. Deuces, have a good day. Yeah, whatever.
Bye-bye then.
See you guys.